Hello and welcome to turn 2 of GMT's Fields of Fire to Peleliu Mission 2. Lots of 2s. As you saw turn 1, we saw some attackers, Japanese attackers appear, and a big dump of artillery off onto our left flank here. And it seems like the attack is coming down at this point here. So that's where the pressure is on at the moment. Let's crack on with the turn. And the first thing on the turn, as always, would be the HQ. But of course, we're on a defensive mission, so therefore, we still start with our HQ. So let's have a look for the HQ symbol. We don't get that. Then we move on to the enemy's activity phase. The first thing of which is the enemy's HQ gets a go. We get nothing there either. So both HQs silent for the moment. And we head for the enemy activity check segment. Normally this is after hours, but at the moment it's going to come before us. So the first thing we do is place new PC markers, and we have them waiting here, and we place them in row 1 again. So yeah, that's another load of card draws we're going to have to deal with. Right, once we've done that, we check the enemies, what they're doing. So with the vehicles, all we'll be doing is putting activation markers on them, because that's what would happen there. And then with the infantry, currently all we've got are pinned units, but we can check to see what they do. So with the activity checks, normally we would be looking at the enemy offensive activity chart under overrun attack here. However, because they are pinned, we're onto our standard pinned activity chart here. So let's have a look and see who should we test first. So top unit as a 1, the team as a 2, and the 2 squads here 3 and 4. And we check number 1, which is the team on top here, which is pinned. So let's look up on the pin chart, and let's face it, it's probably going to be very similar for all the others because they're pretty much in the same state. So they're pinned, they're not undercover, but they're not on a US occupied card, so they are here. They have no leader, and so they would have these choices. So let's see what that squad, 2-step squad, is going to do. And we're checking for the 5 randomizer. So let's get that here, and it's number 1. And number 1 is no action. Okay, it's fine. And we have the team underneath, which we'll have a look under 5, and is number 1 as well. So no action happening from that one there. Oh, actually I should have done randomizing, but it's not really going to matter too much. So that's one's done here. We'll just do these in sequence. I don't think the randomization is going to make any difference at all. So pinned, not undercover, again with the randomizer of 5. 1 as well, so no action. And the squad on the bottom, 5, is going to do a 5, and a 5 is actually fall back. So that will have enough of the combat for the moment. And get a pinned marker for the unit, if I can find them. What have I done with them? There we go. Strictly speaking, we should roll to see, draw to see which one. So we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. And on a 3, we get a 2. So yep, straight back. Our cards are getting quite close to the board here, so Just shift them over a bit here. Right, so we've got a squad to withdraw, which is great, and that's the enemy activity. So we're back to our usual command phase, which is all takes place over here, and off with our company HQ. So the company HQ is, let me see, where have we put him? He is actually here. He's not under fire, and he is a veteran, so that means that we get a +1 draw only. So let's see, we get a 3 coming up to a 4. So 4 commands for our COHQ. And I anticipate a large amount of concentrate fire and firing weapons orders to go out this turn. So we are certainly going to get 2nd Platoon HQ to activate for 1. We will then, that will take 1. We will then, I think, move. I don't want to move into this incoming here. I know that's going to be removed in the combat phase, but it's probably in the heat of the battle here, and I think the machine gunner will deal okay with it. What I would, I think, want to do is possibly shift across to here, which will expose the COHQ. There we go. That's the 2nd. And then we will activate. We don't have any other HQs. We have the Gunnery Sergeant HQ. I think we will activate the Gunnery Sergeant HQ as well. So that's 2. And possibly, I think we will probably hold it there. Yeah, everybody else on initiative, I think. Yes. Okay, so now we've done that, then on the activity we have 2nd Platoon and Gunnery Sergeant, and initiative for everybody else. So 2nd Platoon first. 2nd Platoon is line, so there's no modifier to the big number. The big number is 3. So 2nd Platoon, which had 1 saved, is now up to 4. And what I think we want to do is, where are we? 2nd Platoon HQ here. We will, I think we will, one thing I might wind back on is I will actually activate the tank platoon as well with another CO order. So back down to 0, because we do want these guys to be activated. Sorry, back to 2nd Platoon HQ. We should, if we move into cover there, we should be able to direct the machine gun to concentrate fire. But what we will do, possibly do that. We will be exposed though. Actually, looking at it, we could just order this squad to do that. So yeah, I think we will do that. We have some rifle grenades here. Now rifle grenades can only go close, so only to there. So yeah, let's order a concentrate fire for the first squad of 2nd Platoon. So I believe that's done. 2 draws with modifiers for the quality of the unit. Just check that. Yeah, so it's a veteran unit here. So we will do 3 card draws looking for the crosshairs. So we have the crosshairs immediately. So that's brilliant. So we get a concentrate fire, and that concentrate fire will be on that remaining squad. Good. Okay. And that took a command there. And do we need to do anything else? Not sure we do. I'm wondering if maybe we should call some fire down. Maybe not yet. I think we'll just leave second platoon like that. I think we're happy there. So second platoon is done. We'll then look at the tank platoon, which has some save commands here. Has 5. It gets another 4 to 9. So with 9, we activate the 2 tank units, takes us down to 7, and then as its line, it will only save 6. So 2 activation markers is what we're after to just place on that. Okay, so we've completed the activations. It's just now initiative, which we can do. Machine gun platoon is effectively out of it. It's off the board. Turned into a fire team. No, into a paralysed team, in fact. First platoon is probably the first one we do, and we're looking at the little number, and that's a 0. First platoon is only a line, so you get no commands. It does have 4 saved up. Now first platoon is down here in reserve. I'm not sure we still want to do anything with them per se. I think we're okay for the moment with our reserve. Let's just hold on to those guys. So let's not worry too much about first platoon. Second platoon is already activated. The mortar section, HQ. Yes, that's interesting. So what I was thinking of doing with the mortars, is possibly laying down some fire here, but still too far away. If it's on long range here, close to long, so only gets to there, across to here, so not useful there. So the mortar section, we'll just I think we'll save the points, but see how many we get. We get 2, and the mortar section is line, so we save the 2. So just put that counter there, and then first sergeant is in reserve, I think there. We'll just give him the point, which he gets. The XO gets his point. And I don't think he really needs to do anything, so let's just stop this stuff up. Gunnery sergeant already gone, so we're left with third platoon. And third platoon is over here. I think, yes, the HQ is here, and you might, we are not with a machine gun here, but we might do a concentrate fire onto here. Yeah, why not? Yeah, so anyway, let's see what commands we get. We get a 2 there, and third platoon is line, so 2 commands. We might use 1 for a concentrate fire from the squad here onto this guy. You can have multiple concentrate fires onto a unit. So the unit here is second of the third. Second squad, third platoon is line, so 2 cards. And we're looking for the crosshairs. So no and no. So nothing there. That's all of our HQs. We then have our general initiative, which gives us 2. Now with those 2, as was wondering whether we should add in some artillery fire. So we've got the battalion mortar F forward observer here, which could possibly call down some fire on here. Don't have anything here which can help too much, and nothing here either. So yeah, let's have a look. And so the battalion mortar, which is off the board, of course, if we look at our chart here, so the battalion mortar is the second line here. We have a couple of fire missions, and the mortar FO gets 4 draws for it, so it's very effective. So yeah, I think we might use that. Right, so battalion mortar FO will be able to draw 4 cards for the mission. So let's do that. The target is this hex here. So 4 cards, and we're looking for the explosion icon. Not there. Not there. Yeah, we got, that's the explosion, and we got it again. So once we do that, we put down a pending fire mission onto that card, and we strike off the ammunition, well, the fire mission. So we have on this chart, we just strike on. We have used 1 fire mission. It's sorry, not that one. That one. So no, it does have white phosphorus as well, but we're using the HE round here. It's a modifier of -3 on the incoming, which should be pretty effective. Right. So that's that for the moment. And we've got a second initiative, and the second initiative, interesting what we would use it for. Yeah, not sure there's much we can do. The bazookas haven't got the range yet, and we haven't got a concentrate fire here, so we'll get this machine gunner here to attempt to concentrate fire. First to the second is a veteran. I think I might have tried this already, so he might have been under orders, so maybe I can't do that. I think we may have, we'll have this squad seek cover, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So 3 cards in this terrain. So draw 3 cards. No, no, and no. So nothing happens there. That's our initiative. Okay. This means that's the end of the command phase, and once we're done with the command phase, we're then onto the catch and retreat phase. So we don't have any unpinned paralysed teams, so we don't do anything with them. And we're then onto the vehicle aircraft phase. Right. Okay, so with the vehicle combat and the anti-tank combat, there's an alternate on sides. With a US defensive mission, the US goes first. So I think the first thing I'll want to do is possibly activate this Sherman to fire, and I wanted to fire onto that that tank. So we'll look on to the chart here, and our M4 Sherman is right at the top, and he's firing at long range. It's 2 cards, so that's a +1, and he's not moving and firing, so it's a +1 on the target. And then we have our anti-tank combat modifiers. So the first thing we'll look up is the tank itself, that's the target. So the defensive modifiers of that, and we have, I think it's the Type 95 hard go, and a defensive value is -2, so it's actually quite weak armor. Yeah, so it can certainly makes it a -1, but if we look at the rest of the table, let's look, see if I can find the chart we need to use. Here we go, on this chart here. So right, so Ned AT modifiers, they're going to be modified the attacking unit. That was +1. Defensive fire, defending units -2, so we're on a -1. Covering concealment modifier, the terrain card, well, we're on the airfield, that's a 0. Move and fire modifier, there isn't any, and anything else here. So none of these are particularly relevant. Target's not moving, so it's really just the defensive fire and the gunnery modifier. So we're on a -1, and we then add that to the AT value on the card to find out what's happened. We have an AT of 8, that's very high. -1 makes it a 7, and the 7 is a miss. So our tank missed. Then we are on to the 2 tanks here. What are they going to do? So we will randomize that, 1 on the left, 2 on the right, and it's the 1 on the left, this guy here, activates, and we need to find out what we do here. So it's actually not very clear in the rules at all. There is usually mission instructions on what tanks do for the enemy, which don't exist for this scenario. As I understand it, looking on, I think it was Consim World, where there was a conversation about this, the designer has said that the tanks should move forward firing grenades. So this tank can move and fire, but it does have a move and fire modifier of +3, so it makes it very difficult for it to actually hit anything when it moves, but it is moving. So first thing we shall do is we shall move forward with that tank. Now the move forward here can now draw reaction fire, and the reaction fire can come from anywhere particularly, and this can be done by anything that does anti-tank. Not that we've got a great deal over this side. We do have the rifle grenades here. We did have quite a lot here. We did have our anti-tank gun, but it's been well suppressed by the artillery. So we have very little here other than the machine gun. So let me think about what can react to this. Right, so what we will do, we will get this squad to rifle grenade shot this tank, and that's a grenade attack. No commands are needed here, it's just a reaction. So grenade attack, the 1st, 2nd platoon is a veteran, So should get 3 cards to hit, and we're looking for the grenade symbol. No. The reshuffle, no, and the card to replace the reshuffle is a no, so that's a miss. That doesn't work. I'll just reshuffle here quickly on the fly. Does anything else want to take a pot shot? I'm not sure we have anything else particularly useful here. We can have, I think the small arms fire can fire. Yes, small arms fire can fire. If we have anything here, we've got the machine gun which is firing up there. Now, of course, it is grazing through this, so I think it's reasonable to say that the machine gun could be firing on that as well. So yeah, I think we'll use that. And for combat, an automatic weapons is +2. So the defensive value of the tank is -2. So +2 and -2 out. There's no terrain cover here, so that's a 0. So on the anti-tank we get a 4, and a 4 I believe is pinned. Let me just check that. 4 is pinned. Yep. So that does mean it's buttoned up now, and I'm not sure we have very much else that can help, because everything on this card is pretty much pinned except for that unit. The tank is fired already, so it can't help, and the automatic weapons is firing up there. So that's all we have against that. So that's the reaction fire, and then the tank will fire. It's G rated here, and I think it will fire at the target with the most steps. So we have lots of little steps here from yeah, it's a fairly shattered unit here, so I think the big guy here is the squad across here, so that will be its target for a grenade fire. So grenade, the tank is line, so we do a hit, I believe, with a grenade attack. I think we have to do a actually, yeah, I'm talking rubbish here. It will, of course, target the tank here. Yes, so it will be a grenade fire on that tank. The grenade fire on the tank, it is moving and firing, so it starts with a +3 modifier. It counts as a grenade attack, I believe, so it's -2. Let's just check that. Or does it have modifiers here? So the Hargo tank, yes it does, so its close range is a +1, +3 for move and fire, so it's a +4. Firing at the Sherman, which is defensive value of 0, so we have a +4 so far. We also have terrain modifiers, which is going to add up on here as well. So the cover is +2, so that's +6, and I think that would probably be it. Yeah, so a +6 attack onto that tank, which is not going to be very effective here. +6, so a 3 + 6 is 9. That's a miss, so it doesn't affect the tank, and that's moved and fired. Okay, and then the next tank, that tank will roll into here and draw any reaction fire it can. And again, well, we do have this tank here which hasn't activated yet, so I think we will fire this tank here into against that tank there. So what have we got here? We've got the gunnery modifier for the Sherman. Now the Sherman's now at close range. So close range for the Sherman is a 0. So no modifier there. The defensive value of the tank is a -2. So we're on -2 so far. No terrain benefits. And target is, however, moving. So it becomes a -1. Not sure we have anything else there. So we've got a +1 on the AT roll for that tank, and the tank gets a 2. So it's a -1. Sorry, 2 goes to a 1. That's a very good hit. A 1, I believe, is knocked out. Knocked out means that that's now a wreck. Good shooting there by the Sherman. So that's now a wreck. I'll take that guy off, and I'll wreck there. And we have the crew. What happens to the crew? So the crew automatically gets hit. It will be lined, so we'll see what happens to it. It's effectively a fire team, and it's a casualty. So that gets put on there. So good shooting by the subordinate Sherman there to deal with that. So we still have the 1 tank to deal with here, and we have, of course, the units up there. Right, well, so our 2 vehicles have moved and fired now, as has theirs. So I don't believe there's very much more happening here. That's, I think, the vehicle phase. So once we've done that, we are into the combat phase. First thing we do is we will remove this incoming. That's fine. And then we will flip their pending markers to an active side. So that pending fire mission becomes an active fire mission. That's incoming. Now we evaluate the potential contact markers. So this is where we still have these A's here. Now we still have multiple PDFs here, so we are still engaged. Therefore we'll be pulling 5 cards at the moment. No Japanese or an American's card. So we will be pulling 5 cards, but who do we check first? So we have the 4, 1 to 4. And with the 4 we have number 4. So this one over here is checked first. 5 cards there. And we're looking for the word contact as usual. Blank, blank, cover, rally, and cover. So nothing appears. Well, that's great. This means we're not going to get anything coming down. Well, I'm likely to get something down here. We may get on a left or right front roll. We have the 3 left. Let's check. So on a 3 we have a 3. So next check is here. 5 cards again. Cover, cover, blank. Lots of cover here. And a rally. No contact again. So looks like the attackers really centered down here. No potential contacts here. And we have 2 left. And on 2 it's number 1. So this potential contact marker here. And 5 cards. Looking for the contact. Rally. Rally. And there we go, contact. Contact, and we just got the 1 contact card. Doesn't mean we have a contact. So on the 10 randomizer, what do we have? 10 randomizer, we have a 4. Now the 4 comes out as, just get the chart for you. The chart is number 4 is 17. So we've had this before. We are getting tanks and infantry. Yeah, so that the tanks and infantry will be just looking at the, there we go, tanks and infantry number 17, 2 rifle squads, infiltrating, and 1 tank. So our tank we just got rid of returns, and this is on this potential contact. So yeah, let's see where the placement is. The placement, we're talking column 1 here. So in the column 1, we have a randomizer of 5, and with 5 we have a 4. 4 is right front, so the right front, so it will be placed here. We have the tank, and then we have 2 more infantry units. I'm running quite short of Japanese infantry units here. Let me see if I can find some more. Okay, here we are. So these guys are attempting to infiltrate. So left to right, 2 as their line. 2 attempts to infiltrate onto that card to not be exposed. And we're looking for the triple silhouette. Didn't get it. And the second one, no and yes. Okay, so only one of those units was an exposed marker. First one there. Now, interestingly, all of our units are firing across there, so no one will be firing on this. It was this spot which was actually the trigger, and so therefore they will be firing on that, which I'm not happy about, because that seems to be the bone of contention, that one. Let me get a PDF marker. Yeah, so that's coming that way, and we of course have small arms fire coming down here. These guys are actually firing across there. So there's a lot of crossfire coming on here. The Japanese are actually firing that way and now this way. So there isn't any crossfire on a particular card for the Americans yet. But these guys are not being fired at because, well, you know, we're busy at the moment while they appeared. So we still have a potential contact marker to check. So another 5 cards. Again, we're not heavily engaged because they're not actually on top of us. So looking for contact again, and we immediately get it. So just looking at the others there. That was the only contact, but it was good enough. So who is it? On the 10 randomizer. 10 randomizer is a 1. I think that's an artillery unit. Yep, that's more mortar fire. So hold on to your hats. And that's coming down here. Right. Well, it looks like the tag is almost pretty much down this side. We do have some units here which are actually firing across now. So yeah, it's getting quite hairy. However, that's it for potential contact markers for the game. Remember, we're almost halfway through here. But now we resolve the combat in the infantry combat in the cards, the terrain cards. So again, I'm going to award myself the luxury of getting the good news first. So we'll start up at this corner, and we have pinned units here. We have 2 of them, and we are firing still with automatic weapons and still with crossfire here. Although what's coming up here is all pinned. Oh no, still automatic weapons, because we have the 2 machine guns pinning these guys here. So we have -2 on the card, +1 for being pinned. So they're both on -1. And let's do the squad first. So -1 is still a pin, and the fire team on a -1 is a hit, and the hit comes out. A fire team would be green now, I believe. Yeah, as it's a fire team, and it's a L litter team, which actually is no effect. So it's not even pinned. Or actually, it's still a fire team. So fire team, yes, it's still pinned. So no change in status here at all. Next we have the incoming mortar fire. So we actually only have this guy here. He is pinned. He's out in the open, so, and he has a concentrate fire marker on. So we've got the -3 from the incoming. This is the best. We add the concentrate fire, which is -4, and the pinned makes it -3. And I think we also add the crossfire in as well. So -4. So he's having a really bad day. And -4 is a hit, but only just. If you look at that card, -3 is only a pin. We do get the hit, and it is still line. And for line, we get 2 paralyzed. 2 paralyzed for Japanese equals 2 casualties. So we do remove that, and we can just place 2 more casualties. So I think that flips over to 3, and we have 4 casualties up there. So the battalion mortars, the 81mm mortars, has done the job. Cleared out those Japanese, although of course we have got these guys back here who ran away. They fell back. We'll be interested to see what they do. I'm sure, as they're not going to be pinned anymore because they're not under fire. Remember, any machine gun fire would only go this far, wouldn't get as far as there. They'll be coming back, I suspect. So that's the good news. That's all that done. Over here, we do have small arm fire coming from across here into this. So we need to check all of these guys. What I might do is I might check all that off camera and just give you the results, because otherwise there's a lot of cards going on and on and on and on. Right, I've completed that. We got our machine gunner in cover, ended up pinned. Most people still stayed pinned. We had some paralysed units, a litter team, a fire team, and interestingly enough, the anti-tank gun fire team. They are unpinned now, so that's the result of that. Next card over we'll look at is the incoming here, so that's a -3 coming in here. I'll start with the really bad news, which is the 2nd Platoon HQ. It's on -3 plus 2, so a -1. A -1 is a hit. And it becomes, it's a veteran, I think. 2nd Platoon HQ is a line, so it becomes a litter team. So that's 2nd Platoon HQ off the board, replaced with a litter team. That's great. Start having me to go on. And we also have the squad here, which is on plus -1 again. So -1 is a pin. So just pinned. And in cover, we have the machine gun and the mortar forward observer. Did such sterling work. So the MG first, and that's on 0, so it's +3 cover, and the card -3 for the mortars. So actually, I just need to check, is there any, I've been missing this. There are -1 markers on here, so that makes an extra -1. Oops, sorry, just hit the camera there. So actually, would it be one worse? I'm not going to roll back, I just go with it. So these are -1 as well. So the MG on -1 is a pin, and the forward observer there on a -1 is a hit, and he's line, and line turns into a paralysed team. Wow, we're falling apart here, guys. So these are all pinned. And yeah, that's that. We'll probably get the fire happening on turn 3 on the tank here. Right, next across, we have an all pinned firing coming through here. That's correct. And that's +2, +4 here. I mean, the dangerous one here is the COHQ. So +4, -2, so it's a +2. And let's hold our breath here. I get a lovely reshuffle to puncture the suspense, but -2, sorry, +2 is a pin. So we have our CO is actually pinned. Not great, but could have been a hell of a lot worse. Just flip that over. And then let's just reshuffle. Okay, having reshuffled, let's move on with everybody else. So tank to one side, we have the, just do the MG unit here, which is of course +4, all pinned, and a +2 in defence. So +4 is a pin, great. Pin the machine gun, the squad, which is +4, pinned as well. You would have thought there'd be a few misses here, but no. And finally we have the paralysed team there, which is +5. Sorry about the bad cut, but that was another out of memory on my camera. Yeah, so we had a miss for the paralysed team, and that completes this area. And finally we're left with this this card over here. Let's zoom in a bit, shall we? A bit more comfortable. Let me know in the comments if we need zooms on this. Now, yeah, so got a +2, +4 here, basic. Guys under the cover, platoon HQ and squad. So they are +5. So platoon HQ is a pin, wonderful. And the squad is a miss. So that's great. We have a pin result for the HQ. And then we'll do the XO here. I think we'll do that. Who is a +4. +4 is a miss. Great. The squad on +4 is a pin. That's let me just mark that for the moment. I'll sort it out later. Our bazooka +4 as well. These are all very good. Very good cover here, but that's a miss at least. And then we are left with litter team and forward air controller, who are currently pinned. So the litter team on +5 is pinned still, and forward air controller on +5 is a miss. Right, so what we can do is we can place the litter team in with the squad and remove the pin, the forward air controller. Great. And that's all the combat. So now we can, we were being shot at every single card, so that's done. We have our tanks firing, of course. Clean up that. And that pin marker will come off because he's no longer under fire, and that exposed marker will come off as well. We've nothing particularly left to do here, have we? No, only here, but of course we do keep firing as we do. So that's the cleanup. As we we've cleaned up everywhere here. Sorry, it was off camera, but the Japanese squad up here removes its pin. It was not under fire, and that's it for the turn, I believe. So thanks for watching again, and join me for turn 3 to see if we can keep the Japanese away from row 1. And we do have a tank which is very, very close by. We'll see how we go. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.